Thank you, folks. And welcome to the real estate market update for 2021, February of 2021, where we're going to look at what's going on in the real estate market, what's happening now, and where we think it's going. So let's go ahead and jump right in, and let's see where we're headed. Existing home sales totaled 5.64 million in 2020. And that's up 5.6% from 2019 and the most since the Great Recession. Great news. Forecast transactions for 2021. 2020, we're looking at about 6.47 million, and that's Fannie Mae. 2021, they're saying that it's going to be 6.71 million. So all the projections are saying we're going to have more sales in 2021 than we did in 2020. Again, good news. Price increase projections. We're looking at 5% for next year, and that is the average. Great news for sellers, not so great news for buyers, but if you're thinking about buying, get in the market. Interest rates, folks. Well, it looks like rates are going to go up a little bit. Sorry for that news, but really not that much. We're looking at a projection of about 3.2%. I mean, come on. Those are still some of the greatest interest rates in the history of mankind. Rising interest rates reduce home buying power and affordability, but are often a sign of a strong economy, which increases home buyer demand. Mark Fleming states that by any historic standard, today's mortgage rates remain historically low and will boost home buying power, which means you can afford a higher mortgage because your mortgage, you can afford a higher home price home because your mortgage is going to be lower. So it's still a great time to buy. Inventory. Months supply of available inventory for existing homes. That's the number we're looking at right over there, folks. It ain't pretty for buyers. We've only got about 1.9 months of inventory available. That's painful. It's great for sellers. So what's good for buyers necessarily isn't great for sellers, but it's part of life. So if you're looking to buy a home, you want to be prepared. You want to know what you're looking for. You want to have your pre-qualification done, and you want to be educated. So get out there and talk to your real estate agent. Total housing inventory at the end of December totaled 1.7 million units, according to the National Association of Realtors. That's down 16.4% from November and down 23% from a year ago. Unsold inventory sits at an all-time low of 1.9 month supply at current sales pace. That's down 2.3 months in November and down 3 points since December. NAR started taking these statistics back in 1982, and this is the lowest it's ever been. Okay, what are people doing out there? Right now, 21% of them are working from home, in their backyard, listening to the birds. The projection is that in 2022, we're still going to have 12% of the people at home listening to the birds. What does this mean? It means that we're having a shift in how we do business. People are looking at differently how they view home. So people are making changes. They're moving away from the city centers. They're moving out into the country. So there's big changes happening, which equal a vibrant real estate market. Joel Kahn said that new home sales activity, both mortgage applications and home sales, ran at a pace considerably ahead of 2019, showing the ongoing strong growth in the housing demand and new residential construction. A recent survey showed the main reasons why people didn't put their houses on the market, and that's the reason why we have such a low supply. 31% said financial uncertainty. 34% said that they're just uncertain on what's going on. And 25% said because of COVID concerns. The good news is, folks, all of these are going to go away. That means there's going to be more homes on the market to be able to buy. And if you want to move to a different location, you're going to have more choice. So the market is just heating up and getting more vibrant on the buyer and the seller side. Forbearance. It's something that came about with COVID. It's one of the more serious issues in the real estate market today. About 51% of the people that went into forbearance, which means they couldn't make their payment because their job had shut down by no fault of their own, have been able to get back and get their payments up to date. About 33% of the people have worked out a payment repayment plan, and about 15% of the people are still in trouble. Some people look at this 15% figure and say, you know, that's our future bubble like we had back in the Great Recession. But other experts are saying because of the strong demand, unfortunately, if those people do go into foreclosure, those houses would get bought right back up and it wouldn't affect the whole market. It's still a very serious issue and something that we need to keep an eye on. I really feel for those people that have lost their jobs and been affected by COVID. It's not a good thing any way you look at it, but it is something that we have to deal with in the marketplace. Lawrence Yun, the chief economist at NAR, said, given the huge price gains recently, that he doesn't think that homes will have to go into foreclosure. He thinks that they'll actually just get sold and there'll be cash left over for the seller, even in a distressed situation. And that's what we really are hoping for. So that's a bit of a silver lining, if you could say silver lining. We don't expect a massive flood of distressed properties. Odetta Cushy, a chief economist at First American, says once you include the equity benefit of house appreciation, owning a house made more financial sense than renting in 48 of the 50 top markets. And of course, those two top markets that it didn't make sense were San Francisco and San Jose, as we're all very well aware of. The good news, folks, is percentage of distressed properties. We were selling about 35% of everything we sold back in 2012 was a distressed property sale. Right now, we're looking at about 1%. It's not a great thing for that 1% of the people, but it is a good thing for the market. We're just not going to see the kind of collapse everybody was predicting when we went into this whole COVID. I think we're going to come out of it quickly. I think it's going to be a great year for real estate. I really appreciate just sitting through this with me. If you've got any questions, please feel free to call me. My number is 707-217-1786. I hope you have a great day. I hope the sun is shining where you're at, and I hope you peace and happiness.